Over at Fantasy Jocks have beautiful, high-quality, and heavy-duty championship belts, rings, trophies, and so much more for all your fantasy sports needs.
The trophy's 12 feet high, and it is glorious!
Football, baseball, hoops, you name it, they have it. Plus, they have awesome draft kits and party supplies to make all your preseason activities the envy of everyone. If your league needs a ring, belt, or trophy, or you want to upgrade what you already have, there's literally only one place to go. If you're going to be a fantasy jock, do it right.
It's mine, the most magnificent belt ever created, and it's mine.
With America's Fantasy Sports Superstore, fantasyjocks.com.
What's your fantasy?
Football season is party season at Harry Buffalo North Olmsted. Everyone wins at Harry Buffalo. Every Saturday is Coors Light College Football Saturday with $6 pitchers, 4 bottles for $10, and the Buckeyes in full HD. Football season is most definitely party season, and your headquarters is Harry Buffalo North Olmsted all winter long. Harry Buffalo, join the herd.
Hey everybody, this is Doug Plagans, the voice of the Lake Erie Monsters, and you're listening to the Sports Fix.
Welcome back to the Sports Fix Live, rolling on hour 2 across the Sports Fix Radio Network. J-Rock back with you guys here, getting ready to be joined by Ryan Ruiz of Dog Pound Nation, as my man gets his 3 dog bones together. He does this every week. 3 dog bones to a Browns victory. Jeff Gorman just went through the rundown earlier on in the show, looking at the Buffalo Bills scouting report. They've got some weapons defensively, offensively. We talked about that. Now, what do the Browns got to do to win this game? JK's not convinced that the Browns are going to win this game. Some people are, some people aren't. It's going to be a test once again each week. Hey, look, man, at this point, that's what it is. And I'm interested whether they fall short or whether they make it in watching how they do it, how they finish out the string, where they finish, how this thing finishes, not just the Browns, but the other teams. The AFC North, most fascinating division in football this year, going to be a lot of fun. Absolutely. I'm with you, LG. Go beat Buffalo and you win. It's that simple. Let's talk about it. You keep the conversation rolling on Facebook and Twitter. Facebook.com/TheSportsFix. Tweet with us at TheSportsFixCLE. At the end of this segment, I'm going to open it up, giving away Glory Days in Tribe Town by Terry Pluto and Tom Hamilton. So sit tight on that as I go to the phones and I welcome on Ryan Ruiz of the DogPoundNation.com, the Browns beat writer. He's got 3 dog bones every week, every Friday, right here on the show. Ryan, how you doing? Happy Thanksgiving.
Hey, J-Rock, happy Thanksgiving to you and all your Sports Fix listeners.
Let me tell you, Ryan's a trooper. Ryan's the man. I just wrapped up the last segment. Go grab my phone. And Ryan had sent me a message at the segment before. He's like, hey, man, any chance we switch segments around? And I'm like, man, I just made him sit there and wait. I didn't see any of this, man. I apologize. This day has been all over like that. Everybody is sliding into windows and making, and it's all floating time slots. And I'm like, I don't know how, but we've Houdini'd it. So thank you very much, Ryan, for being able to sit tight and still squeeze in here. I appreciate it very much.
No problem, J-Rock. It's my pleasure. You don't want to be out right now. It's pandemonium out there at the stores. So
it's pandemonium. There you go, man. Like Gorilla Monsoon. It's happening out there, everybody. So you don't want to go out there and brave it. Be here with us. And of course, speaking of braving it, the weather, not going to be perhaps as big of a factor as people thought it would be 10 days ago when Buffalo went through all that drama, had to go to Detroit. It is chilling up. It is getting cold, and it is perhaps going to snow this weekend. I don't have a forecast for Sunday, but last night we just got it. And you know what? By the way, for those of you that believe in karma, that's what that was that hit Northeast Ohio last night. Out of nowhere, right around 5, 6 o'clock in the evening, it just opened up from the heavens, and this snow just started falling. Guess what? Same time that all of those stores opened up on Thanksgiving, 5, 6 o'clock in the evening, and there was people sliding and slipping and wrecking and accidents and hour-long traffic delays. I'm just saying, That was karma for you cats opening up them stores on Thanksgiving, man. That's all I'm saying, man. And but anyways, that snow may be a part of it too, but it's not going to be anywhere near as much as people thought 10 days ago looking ahead to this game.
No, hats off to Buffalo for getting that stadium ready. I mean, we all saw how buried they were, and I have a lot of respect for Buffalo, J-Rock. And I remember when the Browns left, and I was a kid. Buffalo was a town that reached out to Clevelanders and said, "Hey, you can follow our team while the team's gone." And I have respect for Buffalo. There's always been some good matchups, a good playoff game.
Hey, one of the only places that did not vote to approve Art Modell moving the Browns as well. They were one of the cities that said no, that's not right. And so I've always had respect for them. Plus, they're so much like Cleveland. They're so much like Cleveland, man. I mean, they've got similar weather. Obviously, they get it worse in a lot of ways than we do because of the direction that they are. A lot of the stuff we get comes from up that way. But similar people, similar economies, similar working class, blue collar type environment that you live in up there. So I've got nothing bad to say about the people of Buffalo at all. No,
not at all. And to build on that, there's similarly matched stats from the two teams. These teams are evenly matched when you look at the statistics. When you look at four major statistics, J-Rock, the Browns are averaging 22 points a game. Buffalo is averaging 21.6 a game. Defensively, the Browns are giving up 19.9 a game. Buffalo's giving up 18.8 a game. Third down conversions, which is something I've been high on all year, is the Browns are 32% on third down conversions. On offense, the Buffalo Bills are 38%. On defense, the Browns are 38% on defense, and the Buffalo is 34%. So they're very more matched statistically than a lot of people think.
Yeah, absolutely. And only one win separates these two teams as well. As we said, Buffalo looking to change that and even themselves up with the Browns. It's an important game for both teams, as we talked about. That goes without saying. And it's good because it's been a while since these two teams have been in a position for either of them to be here. It's been a decade since either of these teams have made the playoffs, and again, since they've played each other here too. So I'm with what Jeff said earlier. A lot of people are looking for this big emotional moment from the Bills fans. I don't know. I mean, it's not like the town collapsed and 100,000 people died and there's this big cathartic and I don't mean that in a bad way. What I'm saying is it's not like there's this big cathartic moment like we're post 9/11 and the Yankees are in the World Series and New York's going to cry together. That's a moment. This is the Bills missed a home game because it snowed too much and they went and played in Detroit and now they're coming home. I don't expect a big emotional outpouring from the Bills fans, but some people do. I don't know. Where are you at?
I don't expect that. I expect one of our favorite words that we used a year ago. I expect the slobber knocker. I expect
there you go.
A playoff atmosphere. There's no yellow ribbons on the guys' jerseys because Buffalo got hit with 8 feet of snow.
Right.
This is, it's unfortunate. Winter hit them, and it hit them hard, but they lost the home game. At the end of the day, they won the game. They won their home game in Detroit. So I just look at this as going to be a physical, mental toughness type football game that Mike Pettin has preached all year long.
And I agree with Vashon. The Bills fans are most definitely are. And I'll tell you what, though, I don't know how many of them are. A lot of local Browns fans have told me that they're making sojourns up to Buffalo here this weekend for the game. So, and you know what? Maybe it's because it's been so long since the Browns have been in the playoff chase, but the last few weeks, the Browns have been traveling hard of the Browns fans. They have found ways to take over several road stadiums in a row here. They did it to Cincinnati. They did it to Atlanta. They went down there and made themselves the vocal majority for the Falcons Stadium as well. And again, I expect a lot of that. I don't know if it'd be 50-50, but I would be shocked if less than a solid third of that stadium is not Browns fans this weekend. So I think it's going to be a raucous, like you said, slobber knocker's a good word to use because it's two teams going at it. And I think it should be a decent football game.
Yeah, absolutely, J-Rock. These two teams are evenly matched, like I said. Hey, the Browns are 5-3 at Ralph Wilson Stadium in their career, so that's 62%. I'll take that all day. I look at this being the biggest game of the season, obviously. I think it's sad that the Browns are 7-4 and all the other teams in the AFC North have 7 wins, and the Browns are fighting for a playoff spot, yet you have a team like the Atlanta Falcons that are 4-7 and leading their division. I think that's sad, but it is what it is, and it just goes to show how tough the AFC North is again, that it, just like it has been in the past.
Oh, yeah, that's something we've talked about here. It was funny yesterday watching those games as they bring up the in the hunt, and you've got the, New Orleans is in the playoffs, and then in the hunt is the 4-7 Falcons. Meanwhile, every other team is 8 wins, 9 wins. There's like a 7-win team in there, And I'm with you on that, man. It's just, that's a shame because some team, and John and I were talking about it the other day here, McMullen, some team in the NFC is going to have double-digit wins and sit on the outside watching a 6-10 team or a 7-9 team make the playoffs, and that's going to sting even worse. Not just double-digit, there may be a 11-plus win team on the outside looking in over there because of that. But unfortunately, you can't not reward winning the division. It's not like it's the first time this has happened. We've seen a team do that before, so it's not a first, and it's the function of respecting the divisions. But it does stink when you look at it big picture.
No, it is, and the greatest example of that was 2007. If we remember as Browns fans, the Browns were 10-6, obviously, but it came down to the Indianapolis Colts game where the Colts elected to not start their starters, Peyton Manning, and they started Jim Sorgi instead.
Oh, I remember.
Yep. And because the Colts won, the Browns didn't get in the playoffs. So I remember specifically going out to to watch the game at a bar. And I went to a local sporting goods store, and I bought a Colts jersey for like a Colts shirt for $2 because I was a Colts fan for one night, and they couldn't do it because the Colts did not play their starters and started Sorgi at quarterback. So, in that same year, that 2007 year where the Browns were 10-6, I believe it was Seattle or one of the NFC West teams that finished 7-9 and won their division.
That was Seattle that year, and then you also had Arizona followed it up a season or so after that, and I remember that. I remember they made the run there, and people were aghast that this team. Hey man, it is what it is. I've always said there's a reason that wild card teams have made the playoffs, or not the playoffs, made the Super Bowl so much, and there's a reason for that, man, because those are the teams that are to me, talent does trump a lot, and when you've got that 13, 14 win team, a lot of times they're sitting guys, they're getting ready for the playoffs, and look, they win as much as the other guys, but at the same time, the team that comes in hot, the team that had to fight for that wild card. So that's why you see them go on a run, because they've usually been in playoff mode for the last 3 or 4 weeks of the season. They've been in win or go home, and it's like sharpening a knife. They've been sharpening it a few weeks longer than you. But I mean, a lot of people are like, man, look at the trend of wild card team. Well, there's no big mystery why wild card teams are successful and can make Super Bowl runs, because it's about where you're at when you hit the playoffs, not what your overall record is. That's like, I'll tell you what, if the Browns, for anybody that wants to go, oh, well, even if the Browns make the playoffs, they'll just go one and done when they play a real team. Let me tell you something. They're going to have to beat a couple of real teams to get there. They've already beaten a couple along the way. But even if you disrespect all of that, to me, to get to the playoffs, whoever is in the North here is, unless they all lose every week, which they haven't so far, I highly doubt that's the way this is going to go. I would think of the 5 games remaining, I mean, teams got to shoot for 4 out of 5. And I mean, if other things happen, that's great. But you've got to shoot for taking 80% of those 4 out of 5, So looking at that there, if the Browns or the Steelers or the Bengals or the Ravens, if they go on that run and they end the season, let's say the Browns won 4 out of 5 to end this season here, you would be coming in winning 6 out of 8 or so to end 6 out of 7 to end the season there. that team's hot. That's a hot team. That's the hot hand. That's a team that I don't want to mess with. And like I said, not just the Browns, whether it's any of those AFC North teams.